Welcome back to Kunark Live, and today we're gonna be learning about networking. Finally, I was able to create a little scenario. It's not much pistons involved in this, though. Um, Basically, it's just a basic scenario of how you connect to your network, accessing a web server, how it goes through your firewall, and how a packet looks like. First, I want to show you how the packet looks like. Alright? So this is your typical packet. Of course, this is a fake, but this is how a structure of a packet looks like. You have your header, your data, and then your trailer. Now, how they construct this awesome looking thing. Alright, let's grab all of them. And let's grab packet. And let me show you how they make it. So basically, first it puts down and creates the header. The header contains your destination IP address and your source IP address. If you do not know what an IP address is, well, and think about this. If you're going to mail something old-fashioned, not email, none of that, we're talking about old-fashioned mailing. What are you going to write on as your address for the mail? The destination address, should I say. You're not going to put in to my old lady at the creek at Barbasota Country, blah 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 blah. That's not what you're going to put. It's not a description. It's not something else. It's a format, a number, the street, blah blah blah, right? Your zip code, state, country, blah blah blah. Same thing with IP address. IP address, it's just putting in the destination address is where you're gonna send this packet to. You gotta think about it like mail, old-fashioned mail. Then it puts in also the source address. Source address is where it came from. Where did this envelope came from? Well, this envelope came from me. So basically it's the computer's IP address. Reason why it puts the source address on it is so that as it goes through, it knows where did this packet come from. You want to make sure that you can figure out where these packets are coming from. So if you're given an envelope saying uh, saying your address but doesn't show where it came from, are you really gonna open that mail? I know some people might, but here usually no, you're not gonna open it because you don't know who it came from. Maybe it came from a stranger, stalker, something. So you're not gonna open it. So that's why you need a a source address. Now it will implement. It will put in not yet. Put in the data. So what's your information? So in a letter, your letter, the words in your letter, yeah, that's your data. And then it puts in the trailer. The trailer is your error checking. Error checking means that if a a data or a bit, I think it's called a bit, is lost, well, it goes back to your computer. Computer, we have lost some stuff. We have lost data. And it submits another packet. And if there was data missing, it reassembles it all together. And waddy wop blue blue. The server reads it, interprets it, whatever, however they made it, and it displays whatever, or it gets whatever data you want. So then, um, you want to know also, um, that the trailer also contains the lifeboat, life support. It contains how long until this packet dies. So as it's going through the networks, the servers, the routers, the switches, it counts down to 0. Now, there's a certain number that the packet has until it dies off. I'm not too sure what that number is. I think it varies on how much data or something like that. I have to go and double check that. But it counts down until 0. Once it's 0, it sends back to your computer saying the packet was lost. And we do not like that, right? And this is what happens to the packet when it's lost. Bloop, 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 bloop. Wah, wah, wah. Yeah, that's what happens to the packet. It disappears, goes off chart. It's a very good thing so that it doesn't take up memory, or it's not in an infinite loop going through the entire network trying to find an address that doesn't even may not even exist, or doesn't even exist. So it's a very good thing to have. Now that you have seen how a packet travels, let's head on to connecting a network to a network. So, this is your network router, and you have just one computer that is going to be in your network. So, when you turn on your laptop or computer, what's the first thing that happens? If you have internet, connecting to a network. It connects to your network, exactly. Bravo, bravo. So basically, it goes to your router, tells you, hey, I need an IP address. The router comes in and says, hey, I got an IP address for you. Do you want it? The computer says, yes, I would like the IP address, and the router leases the IP address to your computer. What I mean by lease, I mean it gives it for a certain amount of time. Um, so maybe for 2 days, maybe 1 day, it will give you that IP address. Um, so that's basically how you get your IP address. So that means you're connected to TCP/IP protocols and whatnot. TCP/IP is mainly the protocols that your computer follows when using the network and the internet. Um, so basically, that's what happens when when you're trying to connect, and when it comes back successful, that means you have obtained an IP address and blah blah blah. Now remember, this happens in nanoseconds. It does not happen like Minecraft shows it. It happens in nanoseconds. Very, very fast. Um, Also, it might return to you saying already have a connection because it's still using the same IP address. It still connects to the router. We're all good. So now, I want to access YouTube and search for Kunark Live. I mean, he's like the best freaking YouTuber out there. Oh, why, thank you. So, basically, your computer sends in a packets to your router because it wants to get to YouTube. Or what should I say? The server YouTube is on. And the router checks, it's not in my network. Remember, your network is from your router to your computer or to other devices that you have connected. And so it goes out and says, there's no more devices, nothing that is called um, YouTube, or has the address that YouTube is on. So it says, okay, so this must be for the internet. So it goes to your default gateway. Your default gateway is what allows you to transport to the internet, to the big, huge universe of servers and whatnot. What's called the internet, the World Wide Web. And so basically, it hits your firewall first of all, and the firewall's like, yep, you pass. Yay! Because it allows you, because it's coming from you, it's coming from your network. That firewall is assigned to your network, so it's gonna, of course, it's gonna let you pass. So then it goes through a series of servers trying to look for youtube.com. It doesn't search for it. It searches for your the server, whatever server that YouTube called it with its IP address. And so it finds YouTube, the IP address of YouTube. Says, hey, we got YouTube. It waits until all packets are received, and then it resends all the packets saying, hey, we found YouTube, and it opens up YouTube on your web. Now, I also gotta show you, when it's going through the firewall, since it's coming from the internet, there's a specific place in the firewall that it's gonna head towards, and that's called port number 80. Port number 80 is HTTP protocol. It is the protocol that uses for the internet, for web, should I say. Um, so it's going to come here. The firewall is gonna check it, say, hey, let's see, this guy came from, oh yes, from the internet. So we're going through to 80. Now, if there's a virus, dun 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 dun, clip. Hey, I wanted to get in there. I want to steal some stuff. Yeah, steal. I want to steal all those stuff in there, huh? Well, it says the router stops it. I mean, not the router, sorry. Firewall stops it, checks it around, says, you don't look too safe. You're not. You don't look like a packet, an ordinary packet from HTTP or from that that web server. You know what? I'm just gonna dump you. So it dumps it, or breaks it apart, explodes it, whatever you want it to call it. It just gets rid of it. That's all it does. So it gets rid of the virus. You see, that's why firewall is very important. You don't want any sad people that don't have any lives coming into your network and messing around with it. Alright? So, once it's successfully passed the firewall, ding, it goes to your router. The router says, hey, alright, let me open up your source and destination. Uh, it opens up your packet, looks at its data, looks at the destination and source addresses more importantly, and it says, okay, well, let's see what address or what device has this destination address. Hey, I'm connected to the computer. So it goes to the computer, and voila, you have YouTube and you have the most famous Kunark Live. So that's basically a background on networking. Please make sure you subscribe, like, comment. If you want anything answered, please give me a comment and I'll read it, look at it, look into it, blah blah blah. Make sure you make sure you keep coming back to find um, more videos on networking, especially in Minecraft. I mean,